Top 10 most expensive divorces in the world. You would have seen some of the world's expensive weddings where even billions of dollars are flooded to make the ceremony shine in the memories. But have you ever heard about the world's most expensive divorces, which cost even billions of dollars? If no, then don't worry, because today we'll be sharing with you the top 10 most expensive divorces in the world, which will blow your minds. But before we know about them, make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for more interesting videos like this one. Having said that, let's know who will top the list. Number 10. Mel Gibson and Robyn Moore, $425 million. The Mel Gibson and Robyn Moore divorce remains the top expensive divorce to have ever been in Hollywood history until now. No other actor paid such a huge amount of money for the divorce as Mel did. Mel was accused of abusive behavior by people, and it became the sole reason for the divorce, though their children defended him. The decision of the divorce was certain, but the cost was too expensive, reaching about $425 million. After 26 years of successful marriage, Gibson and Moore had to get separated in 2004, and after 5 years of niggling, they filed a case that resulted in a divorce. Mel had to pay about half of his net worth at that time for even the rich actor. Number 9. Craig and Wendy McCall, $460 million. The cell phone industry founder Craig McCaw got separated from the newspaper publisher Wendy McCall in 1998, and he had to pay a whopping cost of about $460 million for the divorce. The interesting story behind this divorce should also be known too. It is said that before the actual divorce, Craig McCaw sold his company at a price of about $12 billion, which triggered the divorce. After this selling, the divorce followed, and Wendy McCaw got an incredible $460 million in divorce payout. Number 8. Dmitry Ribolev and Elena Ribolev, $604 million. Dmitry and Elena thought to quit their marriage in 2009 after 26 years of living together. The matter reached the court, and Dmitry was ordered to pay a mind-blowing price of $4.8 billion. We know it was too much for Dmitry to pay, and after several negotiations with Elena, they both came up with a price of about $604 million, which is a very big one, even the top 8 in the world. What would have happened if he had paid $4.8 billion instead of $604 million? Surely, he would have been blown up by the verdict. Number 7. Stephen and Elaine Win, $741 million. Stephen and Wynn got separated in their second divorce in 2010, and Stephen had to pay an unbelievable $741 million to Wynn as a result of the divorce. Stephen was the one who filed the case for the divorce, and in the end, he was the one who had to pay the expensive price. The couple got a divorce earlier after living together from 1963 to 1986. But the first divorce had not cost that much as this divorce cost him. Number 6. Adnan and Soraya Khashoggi, $874 million. In 1961, one of the richest men in the world, Adnan Khashoggi, a Saudi Arabia businessman and billionaire, marries a 20-year-old British woman named Sandra. She later converted to Islam and changed her name to Soraya. The marriage didn't go well, and they had to get a divorce to deal with the worsening problems. The divorce folded up, and Adnan Khashoggi had to pay about $874 million in the divorce settlement with his ex-wife Soraya Khashoggi. In today's worth, the amount is equal to about $2 billion, which is quite a heavy price to pay for a divorce. At the time of divorce in 1982, the couple had 3 planes, 3 luxurious yachts, and 17 luxurious and expensive houses all around the world, whose partition made $874 million for Soraya. Number 5. Harold, Hamm, and Sue and Arnall, $975 million. After 24 years of living together, Harold and Sue came to settle on divorce in 2012, but the divorce was not as simple as it seems. Harold Hamm had to pay a heavy price of about $975 million to settle the divorce, which he paid in the form of a crunchy check. It is also said that Sue didn't get the check cashed until 2015, and the reason is not she was willing to pay it back, but she was asked to wait by her legal team, which was planning to add some more money to the check. Lucky was Harold that he didn't pay any additional price, but paying $975 million is quite a stressful task. Number 4. Ernie Ecclestone and Slavica Radić, $1.2 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the billion mark, and the Formula One car executive Ecclestone seems to take the position of world's highest divorce prize payer at that time. One of the richest men in the United Kingdom, Ecclestone and Slavica came up to the decision of divorce in 2009, and the negotiations between the lawyers of both sides reached a divorce cost of about $1.2 billion. It was the highest price to have ever been paid in a divorce at that time. Slavica used the divorce money even carefully and invested to get a more incredible $1.6 billion as a result. It is said that Slavica was the one who seemed to play with Ecclestone for the money, but the reason behind the divorce are still unclear. Number 3. Rupert Murdoch and Anna Torv, $1.7 billion. After a successful marriage and living for 31 years together, Rupert Murdoch and Anna Torv came up with a decision to divorce in 1999. This decision of divorce seems to be coming from both sides, but Rupert Murdoch had to pay a heavy price of $1.7 billion to Anna. The details behind the divorce were kept top secret, but today we can assume that both wanted to remarry to different person as they did. Rupert married Wendy Deng after 70 days of the divorce. What's interesting is that Wendy is about 38 years younger than him, but moving on means moving on. Anna also remarried, but not to Rupert, but William Mann, 6 months after the divorce, and both seemed to continue their lives normally. Just Rupert paid $1.7 billion, which is not a big deal for him. Number 2. Alec Wildenstein and Jocelyn Wildenstein, $3.8 billion. French-American businessman and one of the richest men in the world, Alec Wildenstein divorced his wife Jocelyn Wildenstein in 1999 after 21 years of living together. He was a billionaire and he had to pay the price of divorce in billions too. Alec paid Jocelyn about $2.5 immediately after the decision of the divorce. Thus, Jocelyn received an amount of $100 million per year for continuously 13 years, which make a total of $3.8 billion. This amount equals about jaw-dropping $5.7 billion in today's worth. Quite expensive for a divorce. Number 1. Jeff and MacKenzie Bezos, $68 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached number 1 of our today's list of most expensive divorces in the world, and there is no doubt that this divorce would be of the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos, as he has only that sum of money to pay for a divorce. The richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, had to pay the most expensive cost for the divorce until now, when he and his ex-wife reached the decision to divorce. Jeff broke the ice and tweeted that he and MacKenzie have come up with a decision to separate and move on. Everyone knew that the result would be divorce, but it went in a very different way. The divorce resulted in a very unique way, as we are talking about the world's richest man, who is the CEO of Amazon. Instead of getting the amount in cash, MacKenzie was offered 25% shares, which she accepted. Jeff had to keep about 75% of Amazon shares, while the 25% shares were shifted to MacKenzie, which roughly worth about $68 billion in today's price. This sum of money made MacKenzie one of the richest women in the world, like his ex-husband Jeff Bezos. Some people also guessed that shifting 25% shares would push Jeff away from the world's richest man, but we know today that he is the richest man still now. Until today, this divorce remains the only one in the world that would be remembered in history due to its very expensive cost. That brings us to the end of today's video. Comment right below that have you ever seen a divorce that cost that much? Like and share the video if you found it interesting. To never miss the hot and interesting videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Until the next video, stay tuned.